This is the 9th video in a series on what the pre-nicene Christians believed about the divinity, and this is the 6th video about God the Father. To be omniscient means to be all-knowing. A common belief in Christianity is that God is omniscient. What have we heard people say about it? Some might say, God knows a lot, but there are a few things he does not know. Others might say, God knows all present things, but he does not foreknow future things. Others might say, God knows all things and foreknows all things. Others might say, God may know a lot of things, but he doesn't know me. The early Christians believed that God the Father knows all things, and he also foreknows all future things. There is nothing that God does not know. In a sermon from the 2nd century, now called 2nd Clement, the preacher wrote, "He knows all things beforehand, and is acquainted with what is in our hearts." Milito wrote, "There are persons who say, 'It is for the honor of God that we make the image,' that is, in order that we may worship the God who is concealed from our view. But they are unaware that God is in every country, and in every place, and is never absent, and that there is not anything done, and he does not know it." Clement of Alexandria wrote, "For God knows all things, not those only which exist, but those also which shall be, and how each thing shall be. And foreseeing the particular movements, he surveys all things and hears all things, seeing the soul naked within, possessing from eternity the idea of each thing individually. And what applies to theaters and to the parts of each object, in looking at, looking around, and taking in the whole in one view, applies also to God. For in one glance he views all things together, and each thing by itself, but not all things by the way of primary intent." Like Tangis wrote, "God is the guardian of the world and ruler of the universe, who knows all things, from whose divine eyes nothing is concealed." From these quotes, we see that not only does God know all things in the present, but also all things in the future. And on top of that, God knows all things that are hidden, even the things within each person's heart and soul. What do the scriptures say about God's omniscience? In an earlier video on God the Father, it talked about God's timelessness. Now, if God is both timeless and all-knowing, then he would have all foreknowledge as well. About Christ's crucifixion, Peter preached, "Men of Israel, listen to these words. This Jesus the Nazarene was a man pointed out to you by God with miracles, wonders, and signs that God did among you through him, just as you yourselves know. Though he was delivered up according to God's predetermined plan and foreknowledge, you used lawless people to nail him to a cross and kill him. God raised him up, ending the pains of death, because it was not possible for him to be held by it." Peter said that all of the things that happened to Jesus, his miracles, his death, and his resurrection, were all foreknown and planned by God. And if Jesus' death was part of God's foreknowledge and plan, then the church, purchased by Jesus' blood, was also part of God's foreknowledge and plan. Peter later wrote, "To the temporary residents, chosen according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, and set apart by the Spirit for obedience and for sprinkling with the blood of Jesus Christ." It seems that the belief that God both knows all things and foreknows all things is one of the more basic beliefs in Christianity. And about God knowing even the things in our hearts and souls, the writer of Hebrews wrote, "No creature is hidden from him, but all things are naked and exposed to the eyes of him to whom we must give an account." God knows everything about us, all the things in our hearts and souls. This includes the evil things, as the sons of Korah wrote, "If we had forgotten the name of our God and spread out our hands to a foreign god, wouldn't God have found out, since he knows the secrets of the heart?" But this also includes the good things, as John wrote, "Little children, we must not love in word or speech, but with truth and action." This is how we will know we belong to the truth and will convince our conscience in His presence, even if our conscience condemns us, that God is greater than our conscience and He knows all things. And so, God is completely omniscient in every way, whether in relation to time or in relation to the hidden things in our hearts and souls. God knows it all. There is nothing that He does not know. But this belief might make some people feel a little uncomfortable. Does the idea of God knowing everything about what is in your heart and soul worry you? If you have given your heart and soul over to God, it shouldn't. There is more to that quote from 2 Clement which is worth considering. He knows all things beforehand and is acquainted with what is in our hearts. Let us therefore give Him praise, not with the mouth only, but also with the heart, that He may accept us as sons. For the Lord has said, "Those are my brethren who do the will of my Father." Blessings and so forth.